am an analyzer. I enjoy it. But in all of my analyzing and trying to give reason to things, I've realized that it's kept me stuck in a loop, a pattern. I feel something and I try to go to the cause, the root. I try to figure out what happened to me that created this response. What if the root doesn't matter? What if the root can be changed by what we tell ourselves? What if we created the root and can cancel it? What if our memories aren't real? There actually is a psychological concept of memories not being real, and it's known as memory distortion or memory malleability. Memory is not a reliable recorder of past events, but rather a reconstructive process influenced by various factors such as biases, prior knowledge, emotions, and social influences. Memories can be altered, distorted, or even fabricated over time, leading to inaccuracies and inconsistencies. This phenomenon highlights the fallibility of human memory and the potential for false or unreliable recollections. So it's essential to remember that while memories are subjective, they may not always reflect objective truth or accuracy. We've all got trauma, and I don't know about you, but I tend to revisit mine a lot. I repeat it and re-experience it and try to make sense of it. But what if we're not supposed to keep going back and trying to make sense of nonsense? What if we're supposed to catch our feelings in the present and correct them or tell them what we want them to be instead? It seems like we should actively focus on who we would like to be, reactively moving forward. I don't want to stew in fabricated versions of past selves. I've been taking in this book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. I highly recommend it, but I was trying to practice some things that I am learning from this book. So I was trying to feel myself in a reality that I wanted, focus on positive things that bring me joy, imagine myself having them. I was trying really hard to guide my mind and my heart to this place where all was well. No worries, at peace, fit, healthy, financially stable, walking on a beach in the sun, happy, joyful, confident, calm. And it was as if it was repelled, felt like magnets facing the wrong direction. What I felt most drawn to was the wanting of those things, the area between here and having. I recognize that my neural pathways are addicted to the wanting part. They're comfortable there. They're comfortable in the not having, the longing, survival, desperation. And in that, I'm manifesting more wanting because I can't step into the feelings of a reality where I am actually at peace or happy or safe. Our habits are largely formed by the age of 35 due to the way that our brains function. During the first 35 years of our lives, our brains are in a more malleable state, known as the neuroplasticity phase. This means that during this time, our brains are highly adaptable and more receptive to new experiences and learning. As we go through life, our experiences, behaviors, and thought patterns become reinforced and solidified in our neural pathways. These repeated patterns create hardwired connections in the brain. In other words, our brains become accustomed to certain ways of thinking and behaving, and these patterns become automatic and ingrained. So reprogramming these established neural pathways can be challenging, because they become deeply entrenched in our brain's wiring. Our habits and behaviors are often associated with emotional experiences which further strengthen the neural connections related to those habits. This emotional attachment can make it difficult to break free from old patterns of behavior and embrace new ones. Difficult, but not impossible. Just by bringing awareness to these patterns, we can begin to question their validity and explore alternative ways of thinking and behaving. Our brain can become addicted to negativity due to the way our neural pathways are wired. Negative thoughts and emotions can trigger the release of stress hormones such as cortisol, which can create a biochemical response in the brain and body. When we consistently engage in negative thinking or experience negative thoughts, our brain becomes accustomed to this pattern and forms stronger neural connections associated with negativity. This can create a feedback loop where we're more likely to perceive and interpret situations in a negative light, reinforcing the neural pathways associated with negativity. When we try to change our thinking or behavior patterns to focus more on the positive, the brain's like, what is this? It resists the change. It's foreign, and it perceives it as a threat. Our brain is designed to conserve energy and maintain familiar patterns. Therefore, when we attempt to introduce new ways of thinking or behaving, the brain perceives it as a threat to its comfortable state. As a result, the brain activates the fight or flight response. This response is an evolutionary mechanism designed to protect us from real and perceived threats. So again, when we try to change for the positive, our brain interprets it as a threat and triggers a chemical stress response in our bodies to keep us in our comfort zone. This stress response can manifest as heightened anxiety, like feeling increased levels of stress and worry as you step out of your comfort zone, or resistance and self-sabotage, even physical discomfort like headaches or digestive issues. You might have strong cravings and urges. There will be mind games, fear, self-doubt, and emotional ups and downs, going through mood swings, irritability, or emotional volatility as you navigate the challenges of habit change. The freeze response can also be a part of the situation. You might feel a sense of being stuck. It can be seen as a defense mechanism to protect yourself when fighting or fleeing is not possible or effective. You can't really escape yourself. During the freeze response, your body might experience a sense of mental and physical shutdown. It can manifest as a feeling of being trapped, unable to take action, or an experience of a lack of motivation. It can contribute to resistance, procrastination, and a sense of being stuck in old patterns. I have created a blockage where my neural pathways are far more comfortable in guilt and shame and self-pity, insecurity, and survival mode. And so the things that I say I want are actually read as a threat to my brain within the wiring. They go against the repetitive thoughts I have fed myself for years. It makes me wonder if my depression and anxiety and CPTSD symptoms are all my brain trying to protect me and keep me in its comfort zone. It's a working theory, but if so, I think I'd like to trade one discomfort for another. I'd like to exchange my depression, anxiety, and PTSD for uncomfortable positive change, please, and thank you, brain. So it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense that the things that I want, or thought I wanted, or think I want, no, I know I want, but my brain doesn't want, yeah, it's confusing. But to summarize this video so far, the brain's goal is to maintain the status quo and avoid perceived risks or uncertainties associated with change. When you attempt to change a habit or do something outside of your comfort zone, you may begin to feel sluggish or groggy or tired, depressed, anxious. You'll feel excuses bubbling up. Procrastination enters the chat. This is all a chemical reaction that your brain has created to keep itself in the familiar. Your brain believes that that's where safety is. That's your safe space. And anything outside of that is a threat. It's dangerous. So it'll do everything it can to try to protect you and keep you there. To overcome the brain's addiction to negativity and successfully change for the positive, becoming aware of our negative thoughts and thinking patterns is the first step. By consciously observing our thoughts and feelings, we can begin to recognize the triggers and underlying beliefs that contribute to negativity. Then we must interrupt the pattern. When we catch ourselves engaging in negative thoughts or emotions, we can consciously interrupt the pattern by redirecting our focus to something positive or engaging in activities that bring us joy and gratitude. The latter is much easier for me. So I step outside into nature. I go for walks. I play with my dog. I take a bath. Or I write, which I think is one of the most powerful of them all. This interrupts the established neural pathways associated with negativity and helps to create new connections. Then we create new neural pathways. We're able to do this through neural plasticity, also known as brain plasticity or neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout an individual's life. It's the brain's remarkable capacity to recognize itself by forming new neural connections, strengthening existing ones, and even reassigning functions to different brain regions. This process occurs as a response to experiences, learning, and environmental stimuli. Neuroplasticity plays a crucial role in various aspects of cognition, including memory, learning, and recovering from brain injuries. It also allows the brain to adapt and learn new information, making it a fundamental mechanism underlying human development and adaptability. Here are some ways to create new neural pathways. Practice meditation, visualization, affirmations, and gratitude exercises. These actively create new neural connections associated with positive thinking and emotions. These practices really can help to rewire the brain and reinforce positive patterns. Changing the brain's addiction to negativity requires consistent effort. Engaging in positive thinking behaviors regularly and repetitively helps to strengthen the new neural connections and weaken the old negative ones. Changing deep-seated habits takes time and effort. It's important to be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories and try to practice self-compassion throughout the process. By understanding how our brain becomes addicted to negativity and implementing these strategies, we can gradually shift our focus towards the positive and create new patterns of thinking and behaving that support our well-being and personal growth. It's wild to acknowledge and accept the fact that good thoughts are gonna feel bad for a while. Positive thoughts are gonna feel negative. So I'm just reminding myself that as long as I'm uncomfortable, I'm doing something right. In order to grow, we must step out of our comfort zones. And practice takes practice. And then it makes habits. Breaking them and creating them and creating them and breaking them. Our brains are amazing. Our minds are amazing. Our ability to manifest and change and grow and recover, it's like magic. Are you wondering why changing my thoughts matters so much to me? And why I think it should matter to you? What does it matter if you change your mind from negative to positive? It's not like it changes the universe or anything. Let's talk about that in part 2. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. And there are links in the description if you'd like to further support this channel. You keep this channel alive, and you are so appreciated. Thank you.